Hey, Coach, I know a couple of weeks ago you said your team need to get their swag back. Is the swag back?
We're working on it, just one day at a time. So proud of the guys. I challenged them before the game to have the right mentality, urgency, and physicality against this team that came into our building a couple weeks ago and punked us. I thought, we didn't come out with the urgency and physicality and mentality to start the first quarter, and then progressively got better. 36 points for the Suns, 29, 23, 18, especially in that second half we started locking down.
Taylor, in the back. Not sure if it's on.
Yeah.
Start of the season, Dez struggled first 3 games or so, then hit his groove, gets hurt, feels like he struggled a little bit coming back. Is he back in that similar groove now? Is it kind of history repeating itself, I guess?
Yeah, a little deja vu, I guess. Really proud of him. He just constantly puts in the work. Just kind of been figuring out, the new shoes he's wearing and all that stuff, getting a groove as he's reacclimating with his teammates. But we know how important he is to us on both sides of the floor. I keep using the word pop. You just see his pop, just how he's driving with force. He's cutting without the ball, shooting without hesitation. Just really proud of just the daily growth he's showing after quite long layoff.
What does it say about Ja that, both of those halves offensively were totally different? The first half, they're going under. He's shooting it a bunch of times. In the second half, he seemed determined to get to the basket. Was that what they were doing? And then what does it say about, his basketball IQ to recognize that?
Well, first, the IQ, high level, I always say that. But, they definitely, I think, towards the end of the second quarter adjusted. Obviously, they were trying to dare him, from the three-point line. We were trying to get good screening angles, but they were just determined to get underneath and pick him up lower. He just stepped into shots, rhythm shots. Once that first one went down, he wasn't going to hesitate. And then when they adjusted to over, then he was able to thrive in that department too, getting downhill, getting to the rim. So just really impressive that he can just see what they're throwing at him, heck of a game.
Taylor, what were the notable adjustments you made defensively from the first half to the second half?
Just, more urgency, more determination to be the more competitive physical team. I told them at halftime, I said, hey, it's a competitive game right now, but it's going to come down to who's going to be the more competitive team in the second half. This team's not going to slow down for the last 24 minutes. You got the pace of the game. They're sharing the ball. They're getting to their spots on the floor with ease. We got to figure out a way, just, man on man, just being more physical. Our rotations, our activity was better. They still got some good looks, but, we were heavy contesting. We were kind of forcing them into, kind of rush shots, and it was a lot of it just how we started possessions and finished possessions. So we didn't adjust really anything game plan. We just said, let's just ratchet up what we're supposed to be doing and doing it better, and they did.
Taylor said tonight, Ty has 10 points, 8 assists, BC 13.6 rebounds, 6 to 8 shooting. It just seems like over the past 4 years, they've just been a constant reliability for y'all. Just how have you seen those two just continue to build on that reliability and lead the charge for the second unit?
Yeah, those guys have great chemistry that's, formulated over the, the 3+ years that they've been together. Obviously BC was out a couple of games. I thought X did a beautiful job, in that spot. And then when BC comes back, he finds his groove against Indiana. But tonight, showcases what BC does, blocking shots, flying around the floor, next play action. That's where Tyus thrives, constantly moving the offense. And then they just found the sweet spot. Multiple guys finding him in that kind of like half roll spot, high level finishes for sure. But those guys have developed a really good rapport, and especially as that second unit, we've got multiple guys that, will play with them. Dez usually plays with that group too, another guy that really just gets the offense going. But when those guys are playing like that, that just, speaks to the depth that we have on our team.
Taylor, you've won 10 games in a row. In terms of you're trying to progress towards an end goal here several months down the line, what do you think you've accomplished as a team during this stretch?
I wouldn't say anything accomplished. We're just improving. There's no finished product whatsoever. I think I said it the other day. We're just trying to find different ways to win ball games, especially at this juncture of the season when you're midway mark. But I've just constantly challenged our guys to just continue to put the work in. Really trying to find our standard for 48 minutes. I think we're doing it more often than not. You're never going to pitch a perfect game, but are we going to have that mentality? Guys are stepping up into different roles. We always talk about no matter who's playing, we've got a standard that we play by. We're cleaning up some things offensively with our ball movement, our spacing. When we've got that energy, then we start knocking down shots, and then defensively there's always things we can work on. But when we're locked into our game plan, we got great rotations. Guys setting a tone early in possessions. We're really hard to beat there, but there's always things to clean up.
Taylor, kind of going off that note, you guys won 11 in a row last year. It's obviously a different team, but do you feel there's a different level of maybe confidence or just awareness of what you guys can do now maybe versus last year when you guys were kind of on that streak?
I think we're always confident, and a word I've used, since obviously we played the Phoenix Suns last, we lost to them right after Christmas at home. We had to take stock of we've got to get better in a lot of areas, all the things I just listed off. So we've always got that confidence, but if you got that confidence, you got to back it up with your play. You got to back it up with your urgency every single night, home games, road games, no matter who's playing, in and out for us, in and out for them. I say that all the time, but that's truly what it comes down to. We're getting better. That's going to be my main focus. It's one day at a time. We'll watch some film tomorrow and get ready for a really tough Cavs team on Wednesday.
Taylor, is the win more satisfying when it comes on a day like today and what it means to the city of Memphis?
Well, I mean, I'm obviously proud of how our guys played and responded, but, I'll be the first one to say you got to throw basketball out the window when we talk about today. This is a special day in and of itself, whether you win a game, you lose a game. It's a humbling experience to, watch our honorees before the game, obviously legends of the sport, but what they're doing in their communities, here, obviously, but abroad is really special to, recognize Gary, Luol, Nancy, and Eddie. I thought that was awesome. There's so many events that go on before this. I said in my pregame presser, this city has a lot of history, and we carry that out every single day. That we get to be on this platform, to represent this great city, the history here, to speak on behalf of Martin Luther King Jr. JJ said some beautiful words, to the crowd and all that, to get the applause. But today's about that, the legacy that he has left, but that we've got to each and every one of us carry on. So proud to be the head coach here to win a basketball game, but more so, I woke up this morning really thinking about him. The messages that I was going to send out to the team, to the public and all that, but we all have an obligation to make this world a better place, and he was one of the most beautiful people that epitomize it every single day, and I'm just so glad the league, our team, organization, we carry that out, and hopefully it's a 365 thing. I say that all the time because that's truly what it's got to be.
Tyler, what was the explanation that you were given on Dylan Brooks's technical?
Yeah, I think it was just his reaction, so, yeah.
Going off of that, I think he's at 13 technicals now. As a coach, I'm sure that's something you're aware of. But is there a conversation that you have with him now, knowing that he's an important piece for what you want to accomplish the rest of this season, being that he's close to that suspension threshold?
Sure, of course. He and I will talk about it. I don't want ever, for him to ever lose his competitive fire. So definitely something that's kind of staring us in the face that we got to be smart about.
Does the last loss to the Suns, does that feel like a long time ago to you now at this point?
Yeah, I think it was 3 weeks ago. It definitely, sometimes games last week feel like forever ago, but definitely the last loss that we had, really sticks out to me in the fashion that we lost to. So that's why I'm challenging our guys to respond every single day, whether we're playing on the road and we're winning big or we're winning close. There's just different ways to win a ball game. That one was not representative of the Grizzlies, and I think our guys have really taken stock. As I said, woke up and said, hey, this is where we got to get better at. Who knows what the result's going to be, but we've got to be able to control what we bring every single night. Great. Thanks, everybody.
Wins. You know what I'm saying? I think defense for sure. And that's helped spark our offense. Somebody told me a stat that we've scored over 115 points in all the wins. So, we're doing something right on the offensive end, continue to share the ball and play with pace, and good things usually happen.
When you came back from the toe injury and you had to make the adjustments like with your shoe and all that, did that affect your shoot? Was there like an adjustment to get your shot right when playing in different shoes and stuff like that?
I don't think it was necessarily to get like the shoes were the adjustment. I think it was more so just getting back in shape, just because those first 3 weeks before I had been reevaluated, I hadn't done anything on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hadn't pretty much done anything. Like, spot shots was still kind of painful, so I was very limited. So, and then I ramped up like 10 days or so until I played. So, I think it was more so just getting back in shape, getting the rhythm of playing again.
You see, you're talking about getting back in shape, and we see you, downhill, like you're getting downhill quick, like you're not thinking of just. Is that a product of you feeling like your conditioning is back, to where it was, pre-injury?
Yeah, it's getting real close. Just being able to, like, do multiple actions, when I first came back, you know, I come off of a screen hard. If I don't get the ball or I don't got a clean look, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? So now I kind of got my wind under me and, you know, allowing me to make, you know, hustle plays and do a few different things out there on the court.
Des, how special to get in the back? Hey. How special to get a win on this day in this city, knowing what the history of MLK in the city means?
Man, it's huge. I mean, first off, it's an honor just to be able to play on this day and play here and wear Memphis, you know, Grizzlies across my chest. But, you know, it's something that obviously the city embraces, but, you know, our whole nation, you know, really embraces this day. And, you know, I'm thankful that I get to play on this day in a Memphis jersey.
Hey, Des, I know you say you can make the moves and all like that, and you said it'd take about 10 games when you came back. Are you really all the way back to where you were pre-injury yet, or you still got a little ways to go?
I mean, I think that, you know, I haven't really been tested where I play like 38 minutes, you know what I'm saying, down to the wire overtime game. I think, you know, once I kind of hit that stage, you know, then I'm back.
Was there anything meaningful about, you know, this streak started after that ugly Suns game here, and you know you win the 10th in a row against them. I know they're not full strength right now, but when you look back on this, I asked Coach Jenkins this, like, what do you think you? I don't know if accomplished is the right word, but how did you guys progress during this 10-game winning streak from where you were, which felt like kind of a, you know, a low point for the season so far?
Yeah, I mean, every team's going to have their ups and downs, you know, throughout the season. And to be honest, I think that they either make you stronger or, you know, you give in to them. And, you know, we really try to focus on ourselves and focus on our standard and play into what we knew we were capable of versus, you know, regardless whoever we're playing. And, you know, I think that we've had a little bit of practice time. You know, Zaire is back in a rhythm. You know, I'm getting my legs under me. So, you know, just getting healthy. And, you know, I mean, our starting lineup hasn't had the opportunity to play together too much. So just building that chemistry and camaraderie. And I think that, you know, things are slowly but surely starting to come together.
Des, do you see any parallels between you started the season kind of slow, caught your groove, play at that all-star level, this time come back from the injury, come out kind of slow, now it seems like you're back at that level again? Do you see any similarities?
I mean, yeah, I'm just playing basketball, you know what I'm saying? I mean, make or miss shots, you know, move on to the next game. But, you know, I just want to continue to, you know, play at a high level and help our team win in any way that I can.
All right, thanks, Des.
Appreciate it. Yep.